Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nora and thank you so much for watching. Before we jump into today's video, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow your girl on Instagram because you already know we are growing the family across all platforms. Do just want to first apologize for missing Vlogmas yesterday. Listen, your girl needed a break, okay? I needed just like a nice little rest, mental health day. Filming, editing, posting videos 20 days straight was a lot. I had so much fun, and honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself that I made it 20 days straight. And honestly, yesterday I was like, I can't even bring myself to sitting in front of a camera and editing and all that good stuff. I just knew if I did force it, it wasn't going to be good content. So took a break. We are back today for another video. And then for the last 3 days of Vlogmas, I actually always had this planned. I'm going to give you guys a vlog kind of, culminating the last 3 days. Just because of the way that my schedule is going to work, I have a couple different things going on tomorrow, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So it's gonna be a little bit easier for me to just do one video. And then unfortunately, like my immediate family, our Christmas plans changed a little bit as well. A close person to the family unfortunately passed away. So some things shifted and changed a little bit. So I won't be able to put something up every day. So for Vlogmas 23, 24, and 25, for those 3 days, you will get a video on Christmas for us to wrap it up. So I guess you can kind of say this is gonna be like my last oh my God, this is gonna be my last sit down video for 2020, which is kind of crazy. I started this channel back in March, whenever the hell it was. Yeah, kind of crazy. So without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Now, with this being my last sit down video for the year, yes, your girl's taking a break after Christmas, gonna enjoy the last few moments with family, but I figured what better way than to wrap it up with a video on how to prep for the new year, okay? New Year's Eve, right around the corner. We're going into the new year. For all my brothers and sisters out there, we got our powers yesterday, okay? You already know December 21st. We got our powers, we're manifesting, the planets are aligned, we're praying, we're talking to God, and we're saying, hey, listen, we are ready to go into 2021 fresh-minded and ready to push it. I know a lot of us thought 2020 was gonna be our year. We thought it was gonna be a movie. We thought it was gonna be going crazy. It ended up turning into a horror film, okay? Kind of crazy. There obviously, there were a lot of other really great and happy moments this year for sure, but I think most of us can agree it probably didn't go exactly the way we planned. So I have 4 different ways, 4 different tips that I wanted to share on how to prep going into the new year. As always, you guys know I've got my handy dandy notebook just to make sure I've got my notes. But hopefully these will just be some tips that will help you guys out. Again, nothing earth shattering, but just, different things that I like to put in place that I think are really helpful. With my first tip, yes, my nail is still broken. Again, we are filming every day, so sis is getting around to it soon, I promise. But yes, for my first tip, it is to declutter your space. Now, do not let this be like a super daunting task. Don't be afraid by this. I know some of us are kind of like, girl, I'm a hoarder. I have a lot of things, but I think decluttering your space is such a great way to make sure you are going into the new year with a super clean slate. Funny enough, again, me being Haitian, this is actually kind of like a Haitian tradition. I don't know if it's something throughout the Caribbean, but growing up Haitian, this is just something all Haitian households do anyways. We are decluttering spaces. We're giving the home a deep clean. You're obviously doing laundry and all that stuff, but it's new fresh sheets. Haitians are really big on decluttering the space and making sure going into, the new year before you enjoy that soujoumont on, January 1st, to make sure you're going in with a clean slate. But honestly, I love this. And this is something that I learned from my parents and I have since carried on into my life. I'm pretty neat and clean anyways, but especially going into the new year, this is when, I take the time to go through cabinets. I'm going through my wardrobe, makeup, anything, and just really decluttering the space because I think it's important that if you are starting off fresh, your area is clean, everything is fresh, your linens are fresh. I feel like it's just a nice way to start off the new year. So for my first tip, which I think is a huge one, declutter your space. My second tip to kind of prep for the new year is to reflect. I think, the last couple of days of the year is a great time to sit there, reflect on your year, reflect on the highs, reflect on the lows, reflect on things maybe you didn't get a chance to accomplish. Why didn't you accomplish them? Reflect on the things you did. Just kind of really go through your full year and just reflect. Now, don't take this time as a moment to beat up, on yourself. Don't get yourself down. It really is just a time of reflection, because I think the only way, moving into the new year and being able to move forward, I think the only way that that is successful is to sit there, kind of remember where you came from, and then at that point you can assess what you want to change, what you want to continue, what you want to implement moving forward. So I always start off with reflecting, kind of just taking some time. I usually, will take out my journal, or I'll just listen to some music or meditate, whatever it may be that helps you kind of get into that, special head place. Just reflect, remember all the good, all the bad, all the times that you had this year, and take that time to start motivating you to move forward into 2021. Now, my next two tips definitely roll into reflection quite a bit. After you've spent some time to reflect on the year and really just kind of collect your thoughts to, almost kind of create like a highlight reel in your head for your year and what it had, what it brought for you, what it's been, how it has been. I like to then go into gratitude, and this is my third tip for prepping for the new year. I personally, sit with gratitude, and I personally like to do a list. And my girlfriends and I, last year, so I should say every Christmas Eve, we like to get together and do like a nice little like Christmas party in our PJs. The first 2 years when we did it, we decided to do vision boards, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But last year we actually decided to do a gratitude board instead. And that was a lot of fun, because again, after you spend so much time reflecting and kind of just remembering the year, it is very easy to kind of beat yourself up and say, oh my God, at the beginning of the year, I wanted to lose this amount of weight. I wanted to save this much money. I wanted to have this kind of, eating plan. And it's very easy that at the end of the year, you can kind of beat yourself up for all the things that you feel like you didn't accomplish. So I think it's important to, really sit there, and after, reflecting on your year, go through that gratitude moment and just find some things to be thankful for. And I think especially with this year in 2020, where there's just been so much sadness, so much hurt, so much turmoil. A lot of us, had one plan for one thing that was completely derailed, with 2020. I think it is still important to be able to find, the sunshine in the darkness, to be able to find the light in that dark room, and, to remember those moments like, okay, hey, listen, even though this might not have been the best year, there were a lot of shitty moments, but there were a lot of really great things that happened this year. And it's important to really build on those and hone in on those, just so, you're not too hard on yourself, and realize, hey, listen, everybody had it tough this year, but you're still blessed. You're here, you're living, you're waking up another day to then progress into the new year. So my third tip is most definitely gratitude. Again, I like to do like a gratitude board. I like to do a gratitude list. Maybe you want to write a couple things down and put them like in a little like box, a little keepsake, however it is. But I think it is very important to remember those moments to definitely be super grateful for. All right, and for my fourth and final tip, no surprise here, set some goals. And I specifically like to say goals rather than resolutions, because resolutions, obviously, if you think of kind of like the root word there, resolute, obviously, which means to like solve or resolve a problem. I think sometimes it's like too much pressure, and it kind of, for me, has like this negative connotation, like there's something so bad that you continue in your life that it needs to be resolved. So at the beginning of the year, the ball is going to drop, and I'm going to tell myself all these problems I'm going to resolve. And it's like, maybe that's the reason why subconsciously we don't realize half the time we never accomplish them. And by March, we've all fallen off from our New Year's resolution. So I'm really big on setting goals, okay? And whether that is through, kind of like I mentioned earlier, a vision board, whether that's through making a list, whether that's through a mood board, however you kind of want to break it down, I think it is really important to set goals for the new year. Now, I kind of like to use a model that I learned in school, and I'm sure a lot of you probably remember if you had like any business courses or anything, is the acronym SMART. And I will have that across the screen down here, or maybe on the side for you guys. But it simply just means be smart when setting goals. Be smart in the sense of be specific, make sure they're measurable, make sure they're attainable, make sure they are realistic, and give yourself a time frame. Now, I really thrive on this, kind of model just with working with my goals because I am very visual. So I'll still probably do like a vision board or a mood board just to have like the pictures and the inspiration. But I'm also really big on writing down my goals and making sure they're measurable, they're realistic, they're detailed, they're attainable, and I give myself a timetable. Just because there are a lot of different goals we might be chasing. Maybe you want to buy a house, maybe you want to fix your credit, maybe you want to change your eating habits, and maybe you want to work out more. But a lot of those things you can accomplish on different timetables. And I think with kind of breaking it down this way, a lot of people find a little bit more success in not only sticking to them, but also achieving and being successful. I think the big thing with like New Year's resolutions is like, okay, well, I want to go to the gym more. But you didn't break it down in the sense of, okay, well, what are you gonna do with that? Obviously, you didn't go to the gym that much now, but what are you gonna do? You're not just gonna start on January 2nd all of a sudden and hit the gym 7 days a week. No, maybe you'll tell yourself, okay, in the first 3 months of the year, I'm gonna push myself to go twice a week. All right, for the next 3 months, I'm gonna push myself to go 3 days a week, and by the end of the year, I wanna be going 5. At least now you have actual measurable goals that you have a timetable for, a little bit more attainable because you're being realistic with yourself, and you are specific as to how you want to accomplish those goals. And I'll tell you, through kind of breaking it down like that, I wasn't too good with doing that at the beginning of the year, but as of like the last, I'd say like 4 or 5 months of the year, sitting in this quarantine, sitting in this pandemic, I'm like, all right, sis, something's got to give. We've got to really figure out a way to get the ball moving. So I really had to sit there and kind of assess, okay, what are my goals? What am I going to try to accomplish? And that's really, the model I want to follow going into the new year as well. So I thought that would definitely be a great one to share with you guys, a perfect one to round out this video, and another great way to make sure you are prepared and ready for the new year, child. All right, guys, and that is it for today's video. And just again, for another quick recap, 4 top tips that I wanted to share to prep for the new year. You want to declutter that space. Make sure you are reflecting. Give yourself some gratitude and some time to sit there and be happy for the great things that did happen this year, and set those goals. Make sure they're smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and give yourself a time frame. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a short one, but we're wrapping up the year. I know all of us are really trying to get ready for Christmas, wrapping these gifts real quick. Listen, a lot of my family members, I love y'all. Your gifts are still at the store. So I wanted to make sure we got this one kind of straight, sweet, and to the point. But I love you guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed my content this year thus far. I'm really excited to see where my channel continues to go from here. I'm excited to see what we do as a family with the platform. And until, the next couple days, I guess I shouldn't say tomorrow, but I will see you guys back here on Christmas for our last video of Vlogmas. Bye, guys.
Fireside, waiting for a Santa to arrive.